I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring our opinion on topics that affect the black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% black all the time. Please follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Man Listen Show. Go to the link in our bio on Instagram. You can buy our merchandise. Click that bell icon on YouTube so you can subscribe to the show. And make sure you tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mar B. Let's bring the crew in.
Hey, I'm hating today. Damn that.
Why you hating today? What's up with this? We got our boy Darryl.
Hey man, thank y'all for having me back, man. I'm surprised Arika's still here. The campaign ain't worked, man, for me to get her off the show. Even though I love her, it's just a thing. Now it's just a thing now that I just have. It's just a campaign now. It's for me to get her.
I literally was just about to say, glad to have you back, even though you're such a hater, and you just land right in with it. There you go. See, I don't even have to preach my argument.
Every time I show up, you know, maybe I need to start a hashtag. I'm too old to really start a hashtag to really get it to kick off.
No one cares.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Nobody cares. That's the problem. And none of us are young enough for anybody else to care. So it's like,
no. Besides, people like my smile. Hey,
Yeah.
you can be my top hater. I'm okay with that.
So our boy Darryl from the SOC Network. I only listen to 90s music. What other podcasts you got, bro?
Man, we got the Lando Cal Experience. We got Hip Hop What Ifs. We got I'm trying to think. We got Womanology on the network, which is I'm not on all these, so keep in mind, everybody, I'm not on all these. So Womanology is on the network. We Coming For You Wrestling Podcast just posted. Simply Champagne is on the network. And a host of other shows, man. Like we've been growing, man.
Shout out to my boy Ray with the wrestling podcast.
Yeah. Random just had
got a big
Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah. You know, first black intercontinental champ.
Yeah. So and I don't even know if you know, they had a little small beef on YouTube with Bow Wow going for a second end of last year.
What Bow Wow line ass got a problem?
So no, Bow Wow's actual official account jumped on the YouTube thing because Ray and Rodney were talking about they couldn't believe that Bow Wow's supposedly beef with Jade Cargill was real. And he jumped in the comments on they thing and was going back and forth with Ray and Rodney on the podcast because he's like, yeah, it's real. I'm finna slap the fire at her, all kind of crazy stuff.
Now, any dude that still stands on his tippy toes in pictures so he don't appear short at this age, we don't care about. Wow, we don't care.
That's real. That's real.
You're on mute, Arika.
I was in the VIP section in Atlanta, and I was trying to leave because it was boring because everybody was like, oh, celebrities. And this big bodyguard dude stopped me, was like, hold on. And then this dude picked up Bow Wow and sat him down in front of me. And I said,
hold on. What?
He picked him up and sat him down in front of me.
Picked up another man and sat him down?
I said, dude, no.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't unsee that forever. He picked him up out the VIP section and sat him down in front of me. I was like, no, you can't live that down. It's going to live rent free in my brain.
Right. The fact that he let him do that.
And it's the thing, though, and it's not because he's short. I believe Emmanuel Lewis walks around like a G all the time, I've heard. So, and he don't have nobody to pick. He don't like nobody touching him, picking him up. So it don't matter. It's not because he's a smaller person.
I thought Winston was gone.
No, that's Gary Coleman.
Oh, okay. I thought that was God.
Our apologies.
My bad. I'll try. I remember my son used to do that. We'd be listening to people. He'd be like, "Damn, is they still alive?" I'm like, "Why are you trying to kill off everybody?" Which means he just really thought I was that damn old that the
Everybody you know is
from the
dead.
They
80s and
still do.
90s.
They still do.
But listen, man, speaking of celebrities, I guess they're from the 90s. Yeah, 90s. Dame Dash.
2000s too. Give him credit. I give
Yeah,
him credit.
I was making sure he actually was relevant in the 90s, not just in the 2000s. But yeah,
95 on up.
yeah, because Reasonable Doubt came out with 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so Dame was out in that time. So,
I knew that.
Dame has been in the news a lot. A lot of it for not, to be from where he came, the braggadocious uh rap executive, and his departure from Rockefeller and his independent ventures or whatever, recent times has gotten worse for Dame for a lot of people. A lot of people have strong opinions about Dame. Recently, it came out that he was filing bankruptcy. He's filing Chapter 7 because of the massive, massive debt that he has, right? And he also has a beef with Cameron.
I mean,
And
there's a long line of people though. I mean, that's it's
it's a long line, right?
yeah.
And you put me on the one thing last time you was on the show. I think I can't remember what was going on at the time, but we were talking about them, and it made me realize when I started talking to more NYC dudes that I know, and it was like, this is how Harlem dudes get down.
Harlem dudes are the I wouldn't say they're the worst. They're very like we Midwest cats, like it's a little bit like they're Harlem cats are the everyone brags they're even if they got two left shoes on. Like they be like, but I'll be bagging them no beat. Blah, 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 blah. It's just a very high toxic,
Braggadocious.
And
yeah,
it,
very braggadocious borough.
and
Period.
it's not even that, but it's the fact that they're beefing now, but for like most cats, they're like, man, they'll be friends in a couple of months.
Yeah, just like Jim Jones with him. They'll be all cool and they
Yeah,
be doing the tour in 2027.
yeah. So, but he went on to the Breakfast Club, and it got a little testy with Charlemagne. Talking about if he was on the street, I'll punch you in the face, and all this old stuff.
That's wild though.
So let me ask y'all this: when y'all saw the interview, I watched the whole interview. Hopefully,
I
y'all
did.
watched it, not just the clips. What did you leave from the interview thinking of Dane afterwards? Did your opinion change? Did it get worse, or did you think like did he carry himself in a way that you said, all right, I can respect that?
Rika, I'll let you go first, even though so I just can't show I'm evolving and I'm not a hater.
You're such a hater. Don't interrupt me. I'm gonna start name calling.
I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
You're
Triggered.
And for those who
no.
didn't watch the episode, Dave kept talking about don't interrupt me. That triggers me. So okay, well, go ahead.
Wait, he tried to set the boundaries and the ground rules for the conversation, then couldn't keep up with it. This is my thing. I'm never gonna get that time back, Mark. You owe me dinner. I don't know. You might owe me a trip. That was, and I only made it through like 40 minutes, and I want that 40 minutes of my life back. I've never seen grown men name call and act so immature in my entire life. That was the most ridiculous interview and conversation I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that they had a woman in there who had researched and had actual questions and could have an actual interview, and they just ignored her the whole time. It triggered me.
It triggered me.
That was the stupidest shit I ever seen in my life. What did he call him? He called him like a dummy face or something. I was just like, click. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done at dummy face or dummy head or stupid head, whatever the heck he said. I was just like,
Yeah.
What is happening? So my opinion of all of them, not that it was high, went lower. And if I'm ever forced to watch another thing that any of them does again, I'm going to require several drinks in advance so that I could at least laugh. I wasn't even laughing. I was just miserable. It was just like, what? And then why did he keep attacking sexuality Like, he's like, I can't talk to effeminate men. He was like, what do you have against gays? I don't have anything against gays. I have something against people who don't identify as gay. He's like, but I'm not gay. He was like, yeah, but you're effeminate. I can't talk to you. I was like, okay, so you're still attacking the traits that you associate with homosexuality, and you're still name calling. You're 50 something years old. And I was just like, Jesus, is this me? I was like, because I'm ridiculous. When I get into it with people, I'm still talking about punching people in the head or the throat recently. And so it's just like, dang, is this what I'm going to look like at 51? I was triggered. I was triggered. It was not great. I thought they all looked terrible. I thought the interviewing looked terrible. I thought the management of the interview looked terrible. I thought the interviewee looked terrible. I thought that everybody on that platform should go home and reevaluate their lives. Some of it was funny when he said they live in a coffin all day and he's outside living great. I was just like, dang, people go to work every day or just dying in a coffin. I was like, I also go to work in courthouses that don't have windows, but whatever. I guess I'm in a coffin all day. But the number one thing that irritated me about him, Dane, the hardest part of my job is client management. He is being sued for fraud in his bankruptcy proceeding. And then he proceeded to get on this show and tell everybody where he hides his money.
That's
fraud.
That was my thing.
That's fraud. I can't.
If I'm a debtor, Rika, right? No, I'll be like, can I just go there? You telling me where the money is? Can I go there and get it?
I can't win if you're not with me. Let's just be in it together. All you have to do is shut up. But you want to go on a nationally syndicated talk show and argue with people about how you're not broke during a bankruptcy proceeding. Well, if you're not broke and you're CEO or whatever, or you're this and this or whatever, then we need to access those assets. A Chapter 7 means you're totally discharged from paying those debts. They're not going to do that if you have assets in other places. And if you have assets that you're hiding, if I filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy and I haven't done bankruptcy in many years because it's boring. But if I in a certain amount of time transferred all my assets to the Man Listen show and I'm like, oh, I'm broke, I don't have any money, they're gonna be like, haha, psych. We're gonna take all that money too. We're gonna access anything that you gave to them, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna add it back to the kitty, and then we're gonna give it back to everybody that was there. And you just told them where to find the money. So now you know whose lawyer is not gonna get paid? Yours.
What you think, Darryl?
So I was a Dame guy. Like you don't understand. Like I was a Dame guy. Like especially in the early 2000s, and then I veered away early 2000s as well. It was almost simultaneous because and overall, this is what I'm saying is Dame and Diddy have the same issue, I feel like. All their peers evolved. They did not. Everyone else went on ahead and was like, you know what? Because you don't hear Nas talking about I'm a boss and going on interviews. You don't see Jay talking about I'm a boss going on interviews. You don't see even other executives like the only one I know that be talking about their boss is Leroy Cohen, and he's a white guy. So and I know I can get that people try to equate Leroy Cohen with Dame and how Leroy Cohen is able to still run YouTube music and do all that. But he's Leroy Cohen. His last name is Cohen. So you put together what's going on with that. Let that be that. But anyone that has been a boss or the real bosses.
Same thing that rhymes with rules. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but the thing is, though, the Dame hasn't evolved within the times. Every one of his peers that are those guys that's 50 years old that are doing other different moves and doing other different things, you don't hear from them at all. You don't. The real bosses, and in general in life, and think about even in business in general, besides Elon Musk being on some bullshit, most CEOs, you never hear from them. You never hear from the real bosses. They always have a PR team to come out with their releases of what they're saying. Maybe they might do an interview, but that's always like, even if it's Bill Gates, you're like, so what I'm trying to do with the technology is this, and I want people to do this. It's not like, hey man, I'm the boss, man. I set up Microsoft, G. This is what I do. But and he's living in the old paradigm of early 2000s. We in 2025. He haven't updated his software. He living still on yelling at people on the backstage thing, up in Def Jam, yelling at people, going in. But on the flip side as well, Jay-Z wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for Dame kicking them doors down for him. And I acknowledge that. But Jay got to a point as well. It was like, dang, but I mean, he got me so far. Is he going to hinder me? He's going to hinder me. And then on top of it, the dude was capping in an interview, man. He's sitting up here talking about I'm the chairman and doing all this. It's like me coming over here like, I got an announcement for y'all. Check it out, y'all. Hey, man, KMOV Channel 9 has made me the head of all their digital media. Why? And I can maybe have some text messages saying, maybe I talked to someone at Channel 9, they may be falling off. I'm like, oh, well, we want to put the podcast on there and some other stuff. Cool, let me run it. And then they made me, and I was like, oh, we'll discuss that. But Dame jumps out the window because he can't get past the Jay-Z line. If you made a hole, make another hole. That is burning his soul. Like, because he can't get past it.
I
I'm
think
making you on mute.
I think the thing about it is this, man. I think I was really a Dame guy,
Me too.
and honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I empathize with Dame because in a lot of ways, not in all ways, but in a lot of ways, Dame and I are the same. Like you have seen me be the one person that believes a certain thing and everybody is against me, right?
Mhm.
And I'll stand on mine 10 toes down.
Yeah, me and you had an hour and a half conversation about
I'll
Monique a
argue,
couple
I'll
of years
argue
ago.
with anybody, right? And if I want to, I don't. But if I want to, I can be just as belligerent and disrespectful as Dame could be with the shit talking. I choose not to because of the bridges that is burned for me in the past, and because I realized that you just can't bark on people like you used to. And Dame called himself, "Y'all don't want me to bark on y'all, so that's why don't cut me off because I'll get triggered
But he was barking on people though.
or whatever." But he did better on this time. But I would have to,
No, he wasn't. He called a man gay.
I would have to say, well, I'm gonna come back to the gay thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is this: because of Dame's personality and how he talks to people, many people miss some of the valuable things that he says, right? And I think one of the things that was missed was him calling out the Breakfast Club. And I said on this show several times before, I really resent the fact that the Breakfast Club has become like the place where people go to reach the black community. It seems like it's the only place, the
I
major
would disagree. I disagree. I think it's changed. I think that's changing, Omar.
well,
I think that's
I hope that it does because
it's
they
so
have,
many other platforms now. I think it's like way more
but
like
they have shown that they're Rika talked about it, right? How are you managing the interview? They have shown Charlemagne and Envy.
horrible interviewers.
I'm gonna take Jess out of it. Jess is a comedian, right? I'm not saying she's unintelligent, but she's there for, the laughs, right? And she said it. She was like, dude came in disrespectful. I really checked out the interview because I just didn't like his whole energy. That's fair. It's a shame where the young girl, and she's a woman,
Mhm.
Lauren was the most professional and was trying to conduct the interview in the right way. What Dame said that was right was he said, "You guys don't know enough about business." And I don't care about Charlemagne's ventures or whatever he's been successful with or whatever. Can't take that away from him. But I don't care about that. He said, "You all don't know enough about business and you're spreading information that's wrong to the people. You guys shouldn't be the thought leaders because you don't know enough." Now, people get caught up on his delivery because how harsh it is, right? But he was actually kicking facts when it comes to that.
No,
Because
no, I agree with that.
Envy,
But he can't be
Charlemagne,
capping on talking about he the chairman of some
yeah,
business.
that's cap, you know what I'm saying? But like no Envy nor Charlemagne, I really don't have any respect for either one of them, but I really don't respect Charlemagne. I haven't respected Charlemagne. One second. I haven't respected
It's Andrew
Charlemagne.
Schultz. It's Andrew Schultz. That's why
I
you
haven't
don't fuck
respected
with him.
Charlemagne. I didn't respect Charlemagne And and Dame was like, my OG is right here. Your OG is Wendy Williams. That was a hot line.
That was funny.
That was a
That was
hot
funny.
line.
That was
He
funny.
said, your OG is Wendy Williams. You came up on gossip. That was a
That
Hold
was
on, hold
funny.
on,
that
hold
was a
on,
hot.
hold
But
on.
go ahead. Sorry for
You
that.
do
Sorry.
realize that's sexism, where you're trying to downplay Wendy Williams and her business acumen just because she parlayed into the venture of gossip doesn't mean that she didn't see an
What do you mean
area of
parlay? That's where she
journalism to
started
come
from,
up.
though.
But you're
Rika, that's
trying
where
to
she
shade
started
her.
from.
You're trying to shade her as an OG.
No, no,
She
no, no, no,
started
no, no. It's not a shade
journalism.
thing.
Actually,
Marv, I get what you're saying,
actually,
Marv.
I'm not shading Wendy Williams.
No, 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 no. I
If I
get what you're
wanted to
Dude's
saying,
shade
though.
Wendy
credentials.
Williams,
What is
if
his
I
dude's
if I
credentials?
wanted to shade Wendy Williams, actually, I've been defensive of Wendy Williams because a lot of people talked about because of her condition now, right? And then people will say that's what she gets because of all the stuff that she promoted, negativity she promoted in the past. I think that's
Look, Method Man with the Method Man thing with his
because
wife.
like this, just like me, Wendy took a lot of darts and the arrows, but after the years passed by, they was like,
Who?
Wendy was actually
When he
right.
was on.
Wendy was actually right.
I
So I'm
don't know.
not dissing
I
Wendy,
don't know what's happening.
but I am dissing if you a dude coming up as a gossip queen, and this is why I didn't fool with Charlemagne because I used to see him attack women. I seen him attack. What was the chick like the first video vixen? Like wasn't it Buffy the Body? I seen
That was
him.
back when he was like in South Carolina.
He was
Yeah.
like straight up hating on her, dissing her, and all this old shit. The shit he did with Lil Mama, whatever, having her cry and all this old shit. Like I was like, dude, you what kind of dude are you that you were attacking women in this way? And then when some real G's would come on like Master P, they would check him. So I wasn't fooling with Charlemagne
Or
then.
Fredro Star.
I wasn't fooling with him then. And then I was like, okay, I'm trying to consume content, and I see him with this little racist dude. I think he's racist. I suspect that he's racist. Andrew Schultz.
All right, Andy, as they call
I suspect that he's racist, right?
him.
And then the first, I was okay. Well, Charlamagne is on with this dude. Let me check it out or whatever. Maybe they got some intelligent discourse going. Cause I used to watch Juan Epstein with Cypher Sounds, Peter Ross.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for
Then I
sure.
started
They're
resenting.
technically supposed to be
I
like
started
historically, they're
resenting
the
that
first hip
whole.
hop podcast.
I started resenting that whole shit in terms of like this, how we let this outsider come in and talk about hip hop. But anyway, in the first minute I see Charlemagne on with Andrew Schultz, he's dropping the M bomb with this white boy. And I said, oh hell no. So to me, I don't think Dame should have been like, you're gay. You're gay. I got gay family members. I got, whatever. That shouldn't be a diss. There's so many
It's
other things
childish.
that he could have said about Charlemagne. He could have took the Monique route. Monique ate Charlemagne alive, Leonard. You see what I'm saying? So I think all of those things this negates what the good things that Dame brings to the table. Dame called out the culture vultures, right? His insulting of people who work 9 to 5, people who report to somebody, that's gonna always turn the audience against you, especially when you're on a platform with people who are driving to their 9 to 5 that they probably fucking
And
hate.
then you're filed for
And you're sitting there
bankruptcy.
talking about how like you got a boss, you got a daddy, and all this old shit. Nobody's gonna want to listen to you when you talk like that. I can separate that, right? But people aren't going to do that. Fix your
He
face.
was dissing the girl he brought. He was dissing everybody. And then wait a minute, who was the
He didn't diss her.
OG?
That was an inside joke.
Who was the girl? I mean, not who was the guy that he said was his OG
That was
He's on that new documentary. If you saw so they dropped the trailer after for that.
afterwards. But why
It was
are we
paid in
giving
full.
this dude
No,
OG
no, no. He's
credit?
on the he's one of the paid in full. Like it was like my paid in full. So it's got him on there. It's got I don't know if y'all remember hearing about like the girl Queen Pin of Harlem.
Yeah, of
She's
course.
on there, and there's a couple other Harlem people in there, and it's basically a documentary about all these other people that were doing anything in Harlem. He dropped the trailer after that and everything,
Okay,
which
but he's
which is
like,
messed up because now I want to watch that. But it's like, dude, what? That's not the like that wasn't the way you needed to promote it like this. Because I didn't even think it existed. Because
I
I
think
know
the
how
main
Dame
thing.
be.
I think the main thing for Dame is that number one, he's one of those people that think he's the smartest in the room, and that's how I
And
think.
he's a big city slicker, is my uncle say.
I try to keep people around me that are smarter than me. When I've ever talked about this show, when I said, hey, I asked Erika, I asked Lab, I asked C. I said I wanted people who were smarter than me, so that if I ever put my foot in my mouth, which I always do, I got somebody who can have my damn back in the comments, right? And
Oh,
Dame
I
thinks he's
love the
smarter than
comments.
everybody. But you saw there wasn't,
Mhm.
again, it was missed. There was a perfect example of manhood displayed because Dame comes from an era when your OG or your mentor, there's a pecking order to these things. Even for
Mhm.
Dame to be what he is, he said, "This is my OG. You gonna talk to him." And when Dame was about to get back on his bullshit, and dude was like, "Hold on, Dame." What did Dame was like? You right.
And yep.
He
Yeah,
went,
no. I get it. I
that
get
I respect. I see. I can see
no.
because I came up with men who were harsh. So when Dame talks in his way, it
It's
don't
not the harshness to me. It's the
it don't
line.
it don't bother me. It don't affect me. It don't
It's the
bother me. It don't
line to
affect me.
me though, Marv. It's the line to me.
That's my thing because he should have corrected him the first time he said something that wasn't verifiable. So why you wait till he walking out the room? If he's saying things that aren't true or aren't verifiable, then why are we having this conversation? Why
Well,
weren't you coached before this interview?
yeah, but
I don't have clients just go into the room with the police and start telling things that we didn't talk about. That's crazy. Why would I do that?
I think
So if he's your mentor, you need to get him in line before you go into the room. I shouldn't
he
have to
made a
mentor
mistake.
you in the lion's den. You should be already mentored
I think Dame made a mistake though. And
by
Who?
going.
he talked about it when he said, "Yo, back in the day when I said when Cam announced that he was going to be the
Right,
VP."
and he should have picked Bleak.
He said he put it out there too soon and it messed up a bunch of shit, right?
It's the same thing with the chairman for the
Nine times
revolt
out of
thing.
10, I would bet money that they probably would have something lined up where they were going to get some of Dame's content for Revolt TV and it was going to be some type of joint announcement where it's like, okay, chairman of the month.
He said,
It doesn't sound far-fetched to me, right?
no, he said, I'm announcing it a day too
But
soon.
because you talk about it before they can even talk to their employees about what's going on, now we got to say, nah, that's not happening, y'all. That's not
But
happening.
Dame knows
Worst
better than
client,
that, though, Marv.
Does
He
he
knows
though?
if it ain't no contract signed, then why are you talking about it?
worst client. Because you don't talk about deals until the ink is dry. Not when you sign your name, when the ink is dry. Everybody's signature got to be on there. All the details and dots and lines got to be in place because sometimes you sign your name and then people are like, oh, there's an error, there's a typo, there's a this, there's a that. You got to go back and revise and revisit because people will challenge that contract. You don't talk about it until the
Dame
ink is
is
dry.
and look, Dame is like Dame is like an old boxer that had like the world heavyweight championship, and like now he's fighting like lower cats, like he fighting Cam now, he fighting all these other people, and he like with then Cam getting some up on him. You know what? I need to get in there and throw haymakers and try to get after him, and it's like. Dude, I thought Jay-Z was your thing of like you were trying to be at now you're this low that you worry about Cameron, someone that you put on.
Yeah.
You put Cam on.
I think it's a testament of how your
But
ego.
I will respect him though, this before you go into tomorrow. He put his own money where his mouth was with a lot of projects, which I respect
Absolutely.
heavy.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I I don't have a problem with Dame. I'm used to coming up with cats who lie and embellish, right? A lot of times when dudes be hanging around, they cats
But
lie.
you don't do it on public platforms though, Marv. Like the real
I
bosses,
get
they
it.
may do
I get
that in regular conversation,
I
but
get
you don't.
yeah.
The CEO of Intel don't be like, you know what? We finna buy Microsoft tomorrow.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't heard about it.
Do
It's
that.
a special from me.
Nah, you can't do that. But listen,
But he a boss though. He
cats
a
like
boss.
Dame don't bother me because I look at them as entertainment. And there's some stuff, and I think if most dudes will say they got a homeboy that's like that. They got an OG that's like that. Who
100%.
there's definitely,
No.
but you're not a dude. But there's definitely nuggets that get dropped.
Yeah, I got a homeboy in Belize right now that does
But
that.
then there's also some bullshit that comes through.
Yeah, he'd be like, man, we done found some gold down
Can't
here.
nobody else say this.
My
Can't
homeboy.
nobody else say this about him because I've cussed people out on social media and in person. But my heart, Spank, dropped the most knowledge on out, but he had the most bullshit stories at times that would just make we was like, I know this motherfucking lying, but this shit funny as shit, right? you know, and so I get it. I understand. And so I empathize with Dame and I get why people don't fool with him, but I want people to focus on like we got to really like see the Breakfast Club for what it is, man. It's entertainment, and I really resent the
I
fact
agree.
that Envy and Charlemagne get elevated on this platform. I'm not trying to hate on them because I do think that they have a purpose. They have well, fix your face. They have a purpose, but we have to put these things into perspective, right? Like call somebody in there that can really explain what's going on. Like if you're gonna have Lauren, because remember the whole thing between Lauren and Jess, right?
Yep.
Jess couldn't read the damn news right, and it started beef
And she
between
did research, and because Angela Yee would do that.
right. So because Angela and Lauren, they would come in and they would be able to talk about things intelligently, do their research, make phone calls, and just that and the other, right? Like on you have such an important platform. Why is that not the standard?
That
I mean,
when did that
I'm gonna,
become a requirement of radio talk show
yeah, I'm
hosts?
gonna push back because do you do the same thing with Howard Stern where he just be fucking around and shit though?
You're asking people to show
What does
their
Howard Stern
titties.
talk about? I don't watch Howard Stern,
I
but
don't
the
watch either one.
clips that I've seen about Howard Stern, he's got on like strippers and he's talking perverted
He have like high people up in there. And he just be talking shit to him.
that, but that's not my audience though. So I don't
Right,
know.
right, right. But I'm just saying
The
it's
point
entertaining. We going
is,
back as
when
entertainment.
did we put this requirement on radio hosts to be journalists? That's not what journalism is for. We need to be protecting the people in Congress. We need to be protecting the people that are actually doing the White House reporting. We need to be figuring out why the last black, what did they say? The last black journalist that posting on something very specific was fired from the Washington Post. So now I don't got no more black people doing that. We need to be focused on that,
We
not
can
these
focus.
radio
We
pundits,
can
because no
focus.
one cares about radio
We
pundits.
can
We care
focus on
about the actual news.
no, but we can focus on both. And the reason why we need to focus on both because there is a segment of our community that only gets their information from the Breakfast Club.
That's a problem. And the
Uh,
solution is not the people that created the problem.
but so recognizing that they have
But
that
I will give Breakfast Club that they do
recognizing
have.
that they have that power, there needs to be more accountability on their behalf, and I'm gonna call it out.
But I do give them props. So they do have the news segment where they have other people. I believe like Tesla Figaro has been on there. It's
Mhm.
another sister, and they just do like hard news for like 10, 15, 20
I haven't
minutes.
seen Tesla in a long time, not since.
Tesla been on this week. This week right now, she's been
And I
on.
don't really fuck with the Breakfast Club like that. I see like different clips or
Yeah,
whatever.
but I'm saying, but like that hard news area, like that's a good area. Like it's like people that's
Yeah.
like hard facts. Like
And you can't force them to lose their audience doing what they've always been doing to fill the void that our government has created. We need to force ourselves to ensure that the government creates a safe space for journalists.
and
Journalists should not be getting fired for reporting the news.
I mean, I
And
got you.
then radio pundits should not be forced to pick up the slack from
Nah, I got you.
reporters being fired from reporting the
My
news.
question is
But
for
I
a younger, because
here's
it's
why I
a
call
younger demographic show though,
here's why I
Marv.
call bullshit on that though. Here's why I call bullshit on that
Go ahead.
because, and I'm not saying that because he's on the show today, but I can look at Darryl
Mhm.
and show how this brother can interweave comedy, pop culture, and still be factual with what he says and responsible for what he says. And guess what? Charlemagne, Envy, and all of them have way more resources than we have. They have production assistants that could do research for them. They can get the factual information. So I don't let them off the hook for that shit. I don't.
No. You bring a great point.
I don't.
can't hate.
And that's not dick riding because you're on the show. Because I
Yeah,
keep
no. I know, no, because
saying like, no, we're not letting them off.
yeah,
Especially when I realize we realize that we even our limited audience, we have a responsibility.
right, and we got to do all the
We
research
have a
ourselves.
responsibility to hold ourselves accountable. Yes, we're gonna hold the people that's on the highest platform
No.
accountable. Why not?
But I push back on that too because we're gonna run our show how we want to run our show, just like how he run his show, how he want to run his show. So I don't get to tell them how to run their show, and I don't want to. I want there to be diversity. I want people that want real facts, real educated, resourced, researched information to come to us because that's what we're doing.
One
I
thing,
don't
Marv,
want
though,
people
I'm
to
thinking
be
about
like
though.
confused about where they're going.
One thing I was thinking about though, Marv, though, the Breakfast Club is a different animal when it comes to like long form interviews. You got to think about, I'm trying to think about what other bigger time radio personality was able to weave in what we're talking about on that level. It's not been done. You can't do it. You can't do it unless you're on Sirius XM maybe, and then you maybe not have a job the next day. Which one of my friends that worked on them, they was on there for eight
Literally,
months and then gone.
literally,
You know,
On what?
like
On what? On Breakfast
literally.
Club?
no, I'm serious. I'm just
No,
saying like on,
it
but
was
like
6 minutes.
I'm just saying because if what other radio, entertainment radio that are young, because even though the Breakfast Club is older gentlemen, they have a younger demographic. What
Mhm.
demographic when we were in our 20s and we out there, what show was like, yo, when I listened to that, I really got like set up on a political level that was really like enlightening me and putting me on game.
So
Oh wow. It
uh,
has to be us. It has to be the
I
underground
will
shows.
answer it in this way. Um, I think that, and this is probably this goes to what Enrique always talks about in terms of the importance of being knowledgeable about your local politics. Um, it's hard for us to make a comparison to how, for me to make a comparison on what we came up with, because the only syndicated radio shows that we really had coming up, at least in the Midwest, was Tom Joyner.
Time
And,
Jordan?
Mhm.
and Tom Joyner did bring in thought leaders and
He
different
did.
to educate,
Breakfast Club does too, though.
educate. But here's the piece though. Um, I specifically remember even when Tom Joyner may have been outside of his depth in some of the interviews, there was civil there. There was civil there to be able to ask the poignant questions and to get the answers that the audience needed. So while
Shout
Envy,
out to Sybil though, man. She
Envy,
did the eulogy at my uncle's funeral.
shout out to her. Envy, not that type of dude, light skinned, emotional. And my issue with Dane, the other thing that Dane fell for Charlotte
I
trap, right? When you're a person, like I said, I empathize with Dane. Like with me, it's really hard for me to allow somebody who I feel is fucking with me to have the last word because I want to come at you, right? And
Mhm.
Charlemagne kept saying stuff to antagonize Dane.
Because he's an antagonizer. If you know the art
he
of war,
does.
Dame kept falling for it. Like Dame
Yes.
should have just been like, "Yeah, okay, man, whatever," and kept pushing. But he was calling him dummy, calling him gay, and all that. Let's talk about the gay thing.
Mhm.
Like, I play the pause stuff sometimes. I say pause sometimes, like when it's funny. But like, it's hard for me to like even like take like Cam and Mace and all them seriously. Because
It's
like
only Harlem niggas that do
you
that.
were saying, can't say the N word on the show, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
uh, that pause shit, like, dog, you taking it too far, dog. Like, why is homosexuality and gay shit on your mind so much that you have to associate anything? Because like I saw with Mason talking about, he was like, "Yeah, I wanted to back you up." Pause. I'm like, come on, bro.
They
Like,
do that so much. It's so weird.
yeah,
So I didn't realize that. So I heard pause on a rap song many, many years ago. So I say pause when I'm saying no, literally pause what you're saying so that I can process and then have a response. So I'd be like, wait, pause, wait, stop talking. So, but when they say it, they're like no homo.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's like a no homo insertion. And I'm just like, would y'all do it like so much? I was like, this interview was the worst shit I've seen in a month of
It was
Sundays. And
unproductive to
God,
me overall.
It did evolve. I was able to pull, and I will say this. Then we move on to
I
the next.
tapped out. I'm not gonna
I, I
lie.
was I was able to pull some good stuff. I recognize the call out that Dame had on the Breakfast Club. Hopefully they'll take that and they'll try to do better, right? And I was able to take some good from it. I liked when OG came up and he talked about
100%. That was the best part.
his wife and how guys should, be there for their wives and, how he's standing up for the community and all those things. All that stuff was lost with the whole
Yeah.
dumb, you stupid,
So I missed the best part of the interview.
and
Apparently, it was the OG.
you in debt. You and Debt Dash. The Debt Dash was funny by Charlamagne. That was funny. He called him Debt.
Hey, Debt Jam.
Yeah, you said on a Debt Jam. That was funny. But I just feel
I
like
swear, I felt like I was on
both
the
of them,
playground
both of them got exposed. All of them got exposed, right? And
as children.
this ain't the first time. And like I really wish Dave could check his ego. Like he could check his ego at some point. 'Cause he was like, "Look, man, I ain't got my teeth. Like my teeth is messed up. I got to get implants. That's why I got my dentures and all this old shit." Like, all right, yeah, y'all got me, whatever, right? But then like you're so your ego is so hurt because you lost the rights to paid in full, and now 50 Cent has it, right? And you consider yourself on the same level as 50 Cent, and you mad because your homeboy Cam is doing business with 50 Cent, and it just triggers you. Somebody cutting you off is not triggering you. You
It's the
not
topic.
feeling like you are getting the propers that you think you deserve or
It's
being
triggering.
recognized for what you contributed. That's your trigger. That's your trigger. But I want to talk about Cam and Mace. Did y'all see when they had Adrian Broner on the show?
Hey man, I've never liked dude, man. I've never liked
You
that dude.
never like Adrian Bronner?
No,
At the
nobody.
beginning,
Nobody.
I did like the little fake proposal thing that he did when he was like, "Can you brush my hair?" I thought that was funny. I ain't gonna front,
I never have liked Adrian Broner.
but I never have liked him besides that.
He's always been a clown and a
Hmm.
buffoon. Um, he's been a waste of talent, and I really appreciated what Cam did by protecting the woman on his show. I wasn't really
Mhm.
familiar with Stat. I really don't watch. It is what it is. No shade on them. I know cats that do. Most of the cats that I do know that watch it, they New York dudes, so they can relate, right? But that Harlem shit, it is
You already know what it is.
it's too much. It's too much for me, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
But Cam said, "Hey, I warned you once."
he did it 3 times.
He said, "I
He
already told,
did.
I told you the
He gave
first.
him a lot
I
of
told you
chances.
the first time. Now you got to go." So part of it was he's protecting his co-host, a young woman. She's like 24. I got a daughter her age,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then secondly is like, dog, I done already told you to chill, and you still testing me. Give a fuck if you a boxer or not. You got to get up out of here.
And he like her boyfriend and his people are here.
Hmm.
This could turn into something real. Like you over here playing. This is like for real New York. This is not for play New York. This is for real New York. Like when this ends, this could end. And because I mess with you like I do, you might want to go home, dog, before these dudes really get mad, before these dudes get offended. But I don't know. At the risk of leaving Bizarro World, where me and Daryl actually agree on something,
We agreed on a lot. We agreed on a lot tonight. I'm cool. Maybe I
and,
need to make a campaign. Keep Eureka.
and venturing into the world where I don't know anything about Adrian, bro.
He,
I
he
just like I love the way he handled it because he handled it in a way that he was just like, listen, you my dog, but you gotta go. He's like, no, for real. He's like, I get it, but get your things and go home. I was like,
I'm gonna compensate you for your time.
And I think we
here you go.
all,
Here,
as
right.
men, I'm not trying to exclude you, Rika, but I'm just speaking from a male perspective and why I respected it so much. We all have that one guy that may not be a part of the crew, but may be an associate that don't know how to act around women.
Boom. That is
Y'all
it
have
right
that
there.
one dude that don't know how to act around women. Either they get too aggressive, they too sexual, or they're belligerent, or they're disrespectful. And most of the time we be like, nah, we can't have him around. Or there has to be some serious coaching that happens before the girls like, hey, look, when these chicks get over here, don't act the fucking ass, dog. Because you're gonna mess it up for all of us, right?
Hmm.
That's one piece. And there's been times where I've been with I have plenty of women who are my friends. Now it's taken me a long way to grow to be that way because back in the day, everybody was a
No, it
target.
didn't.
You know,
No, it didn't. No,
everybody
it
was a
didn't.
target. But I got women who are friends. I'll be damned if you're gonna be sitting there making them uncomfortable, dog. And what was Adrian on? I don't know when they record. I'm assuming they recorded at morning time.
Dude, he was like
drunk
tweaking.
or drugged out? What was going on with
He
him?
was lit. He was on
No,
10.
that wasn't drug. That wasn't alcohol. That was like something else.
Listen, I don't do the drugs, so I don't know how they make people behave. But no, but I would also add to that is that men who have little sisters or people who they have included in their spectrum of security, when anything starts happening, it's like, all right, I'm giving you a warning that I'm about to amp it up on you. And so this is your warning. And so I felt like he was just like, she's in my sphere of security. And she's somebody that I'm not going to let anybody disrespect. And you're disrespecting her. I feel disrespected because I've invited you into this space and you're disrespecting somebody in my sphere of security. And that's not going to ever happen because not only are you disrespecting her, but you're disrespecting me now. And like, that's literally how my brothers operate. Like, you cannot disrespect anybody, even in my sphere of security, because it's going to go left for you because our friendship is going to end at the moment that you think that you can disrespect anybody that I'm protecting. So I feel like Cam felt that that's what he was doing. He's just like, hey, I already said this is a safe space for her. So you need to calm down. And if you can't do that, we can still be cool, but we can't be cool here. We can't be cool in this way. And that's why I was like, hey, I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. So it wasn't surprising to me, but I can always respect it when I see it.
And I'm gonna go back to I'm giving Cam props for manhood. I can go back, taking it back full circle. Angela Yee, when Gucci Mane came on the Breakfast Club, and he was super disrespectful to Angela Yee, and they were never the same because she was like, he came into our shit, disrespecting me.
But no, and also he did an interview with Charlemagne on his own.
And you didn't protect me. Mm-hmm. Now, I can't say that just because we're co-workers, right? That we're friends. But, I specifically remember, and I always felt like, and some people don't like Angela Yee. They felt that she was annoying because of her voice. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've had Sirius Satellite for years. Mm-hmm. Angela used to be with Cypher Sounds, and when Cypher Sounds left for Hot 95, she got her own morning show, and her show was great. So she brought the professional.
Was it lipstick? What was it?
No, Lip Service was like her
Lip Service,
the sex show. But she had her own like actual morning show on Sirius Satellite, and it was great. It was great, and it was funny. It was engaging, and they never really delved into the politics, right? Because it's like that's not really our lane. We talk about hip hop. We keep it funny, and if the Breakfast Club did that, I wouldn't have no issue with them. It's when you try to blend the two and you don't blend the two well, it's when I have a problem. But take it back to another reason why I just don't respect the dude Charlemagne. Like, okay, maybe we're assuming that they are just co-workers, right? And he didn't feel compelled to do anything for her, but it's not a good look, bro. It's not a good
low key. He could have edited it out though. I'm just telling you, as a person that's in, he could have just edited out that part and not even if he didn't defend her, he could just edit that part out. And just that part.
The problem is he was okay with it.
Yeah, just like I didn't defend you. Let me anything with Angelina. Let me just cut that out. Like that's not what this interview is about.
So, but I think that could go back to his mentorship, not in the way that Dame made it seem, but I think that what Dame was trying to say is that his mentor in Wendy Williams was in, let's expose it, let's bring the tea, who cares who gets hurt? And then Dame's mentor is like, no, we have a code. Wendy had a different code.
But Dame be chatty pattying too, though, man.
But I'm gonna say this though.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this. And I was talking to a friend about this. You notice how Dame never got disrespectful with Lauren or Jess though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he don't like the niggas.
Now some people say he talked over her, or he wouldn't allow her to finish or whatever, right? But like
that's because he was arguing with them because they was talking over her,
right? Because that was a problem with them and Angela. They would talk over her.
They would
cut her
all
off
the time.
Shit. right? So then you got Lauren and Jess in, and you make inopportune jokes all the time, trying to be funny all the time, right? There's a code, like you said. And I must say, other than when he was talking about Claudia Jordan, his beef with Claudia Jordan, right?
That's just funny though. Actually, that movie was actually pretty good too, though. That's the
What
crazy
was that, a
part.
Tubi movie or something like that?
Nah, it's called Dear Frank. It was like a little independent film or whatever. It was actually a decent movie.
Was
It's
it
got
like
Columbus Short in it. It's got what's the one
Be
is it?
back?
But it was like super sexual, right?
eh,
That's the way they.
but they cut it. I mean, maybe that because I didn't see Dame in this movie. I didn't even know he was in this movie because I didn't see him in the movie unless I went to go get a drink or something. No, when I came back and I missed
He
him.
was the director, from what I heard.
Yeah,
Director.
but he was supposed to have been in the scene. He said he was in a scene with her in that interview, and I was like, I saw Dear Frank, and it's not. It's basically about a girl that gets killed, and she writes all these letters to her husband, telling about all the different things that she did done extramaritally or whatever, and it's a mystery within who killed her.
So
That's the movie.
what I saw
Oh, from all
was
her Johns.
Brian White. What is the one dude that all the girls like? Michael White, the light skinned tall dude.
John Jai.
No, not Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White.
Not Michael Jai White. The light skinned dude,
Yeah,
Brian White.
Oh, I don't know. I
I
can't
don't.
help you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Michael
But
Jai White is from my generation. What generation are you talking about?
Brian White is older than all of us. He like in his 50s. Like,
I don't know. I don't know who he is.
uh,
But from what I saw, Dame was like, and even then he was talking too much. That's another problem. He talks too much. He sat there and he was like, there was a scene where Claudia was supposed to be having sex or whatever. So I just gave her a porno tape and I just walked
yeah,
off.
that was wild, man.
I was
That's
like, "Doc, what are
wild.
you talking about? You gave her a porno tape. It's better off.
I just put his Google search in the chat.
Yeah, it's better off for you to go up there and just be like, yo, this is going to be an intense scene. I want you to put your mind frame and blah, 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 as opposed to like, I'm going to give you a porno tape so to get you in the mood, basically. Like, come on, bro. Like, and what is that doing to you if this woman wants to say, hey, listen, this was a hostile environment. Look what he just said. You know what I'm
Why
saying?
would you give a woman a porno for any movie, period? Like, that is not any protocol to
Listen,
do.
I'm not giving a woman a porno unless I'm about to make a movie with
Right.
her.
That's
You know what
only
I'm saying?
if it's a personal thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just nuts, man. But
So no, it's Brian J. White. Y'all see him in a whole bunch of stuff. He
man,
been
No.
Tyler.
I don't, you know,
I ain't seen him in nothing.
I don't fool with
Yes,
like
y'all have, man. Quit hating
I
on
don't fool with
Brian
light
J. White.
skinned
He been
dudes. You know,
he been doing all right for
really like
himself.
I don't
Listen,
like light skinned
listen.
dudes like that. So I won't.
You light skin, man.
No,
Why
I'm
you
not. I'm
hating?
chocolate. So
Oh.
anyway, hey, before we go, Darryl, tell them what you got going on. Tell them how to find your show.
Oh man, SLC
No,
Network
we
everywhere.
don't care. Bye.
SLC Network everywhere, man. Like if you go SLC Network, you can see all different shows. You can subscribe what you want to. You ain't gotta like everything. You could go to what your fancy is or whatnot. I'm gonna do a show just hating on Rika. I was thinking about just making a whole YouTube channel and just putting pictures of Rika up and be like, why she's still on the show? Why she's still there? And then just tagging y'all show. Maybe if I get time, I've been busy, but if I get a break for 2 weeks from work, I may just get in my troll mode and be like, dang.
Now you know. Now you know.
Then I
My
got to deal
biggest
with you
fan.
too.
Hold on.
My biggest fan.
Now you know. Now you know. I got to get on my camera and shit.
I know.
You can't be fucking with my.
My biggest fan right here. He's my biggest fan. Watch, I'll text him right now. He's gonna be like, "What you need?"
And then we gonna give you the Charlie Kirk treatment. You know what I'm saying? But, like motherfuckers can't say shit about Charlie Kirk no more. Shit. They fired Jimmy Kimmel.
Dude, that's crazy. Right before I got on, I was
welcome to state.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Welcome to state-run journalism. These motherfuckers fired Jimmy Kimmel because the FCC chair said, "Okay, ABC, Disney, y'all want
Hey,
about a podcaster who was racist."
hey, listen. I think this is good news for us.
why? Oh, because it's open now.
Real TV, real journalism is about to go so fucking underground. Watch Jimmy Kimmel start a podcast. Watch podcasts start taking off. Watch people start
You're
watching
saying that
things.
basically it's going to gut the networks of like, oh, well, I ain't fucking with
Just
ABC.
fuck them.
And I'm just going.
You took off Jimmy Kimmel? Oh my God. I don't know how to quote them. The European
It's
Americans.
But listen, make sure y'all go check out all of Darryl's content.
Man, I appreciate y'all
Yes.
having me. Man. Y'all got to come on. What y'all pick the show? We got a whole bunch of shows. y'all could come on.
Yeah, get me on the show, man.
You can't hate me and invite me on the show at the same time.
I
Those
still love
things
you.
don't
I can
make
still
sense.
hate you and love you.
Yeah.
I can still
I
not
just-
want you to be on the show, but want to come on one of my shows, Rika.
So, hey,
How about we come on the show after Arsenal beats you?
Well, y'all already beat us
that
beginning of
already
the first
happened.
game of the
Who's
year.
your squad, man? You
Yeah.
and y'all just got worked by City too.
We've been getting work. That's why I ain't been talking shit to nobody. I've been underground.
And you know what's
That's
crazy?
why I brought it up.
What was crazy?
Hate
When
somebody
I was
else.
over in London, right? Because our mutual friend was like, Arsenal's the black squad, which it is. Right?
It is. No.
Which it
I gotta
is.
send you that. Did I send you that, Erika? It's a documentary about breaking out why Arsenal is the
No.
black
Yeah,
squad
there's a
nation.
documentary,
No.
and then there's the book, Arsenal in Black, right?
Yeah.
But my point, when I was over in London, I would ask all the African cats or whatever. I was like, who your squad? Who your squad? And a lot of them, oh man, man, you. And I was like, what? They was like, yeah, I like man, you. But the other one that really stood out to me, and which I have more respect for, a lot of them ride with Liverpool.
Can't
And
fuck with it.
that
Can't
goes
fuck
back,
with it.
but that goes back to basically, I don't know if he was the first, but he was the first popular black soccer player, John Barnes.
Yeah. He went to play Liverpool.
Liverpool really rolled for him and had him out there. So when I was talking to Cass, I was like, why you like Liverpool, not Arsenal? And his brother broke it down to me. He said, hey, it's because of John Barnes. That's the reason why we ride.
And for Arsenal,
Pioneer.
they were the first midfield to have an all black midfield. Arsenal did.
Yeah.
So that's their thing with that. But
Yeah.
nah,
Come on,
man.
the Arsenal
Yeah,
stats.
I'm still developing my knowledge on the Premier League.
Yeah, man. Look,
but eventually
it's
I'm
all
gonna
good. Look, and look, I love Dub, man, but he is a parasite, man. And I tell him that all the time that he ain't infected all y'all non-soccer watchers or football watchers.
That's not true. That's
Yes,
not
he is.
true
He's
because now I
infected,
watch
y'all.
soccer.
And
I
every
watch
random
soccer
person
now.
he meets, it's like Alien, where like he just is the parasite that come in on you, and then there's a chest burster come out and there's an Arsenal jersey. That's what it is, and that's all
Or
y'all.
hey.
or is he
Hold on,
introducing
hold
black
on.
people to soccer at all? Because we would
No, he is, but he
Okay, so
infects
how
them.
about that? How about he's an introducer, not a parasite?
But what's crazy is this, though.
How about that?
What's crazy is this. Then we're really gonna go.
Yeah.
And quickly.
Especially since I have been on my fuck the NFL tip.
Mhm.
And not to say that the billionaires that own the Premier League teams and all that stuff aren't racist too, because what billionaire do you know that
That's
is
not racist
that
or
isn't
capitalist.
racist or isn't willing to crush the small folks, right? At least from what I see from across the pond, there's a better treatment of the black players somewhat.
Now, the German Bundesliga, you cannot own. There's no full owners of those leagues in Germany.
And the ones I really don't fool with is because if you ever been to Italy, you know how.
Oh yeah, no, because Bartola.
You know how they
below
go.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I lived in Italy for a whole 6 months. I already know. I live in
I remember I
Bologna.
went to Italy. I was in Rome, and I was there with my ex-wife, and she was like, "You know this lady?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Why she looking at you like that?" I said, "I don't know, but the bitch better get her life together." And it was
Yo.
clear that it was on some racist shit. It was so much.
Yeah.
Food is great, but it's
I hate Spain.
dirty ass city, and they're racist as shit.
I spent my
And
whole
most
life
dudes
trying to
know
get to
that.
Spain to hate it.
And most dudes know that because most sisters I know that go to Italy, they be like, "Oh, they treated me well." And I was like, you know why? Because just like those Italian dudes in New York, they want to fuck black women, but
They don't want to be with them.
That's it. That's it. But anyway, we're going on a tangent.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Man,
go to our
thank y'all for coming in.
website.
Look, all y'all Man U
www.
fans, just get on back on now. We'll be back in 3 years or so. Just get on now early. We'll be back. Man U will be back. Just get on early. Just get back on early. We'll be back.
Just like Dame.
Back to Arsenal.
And just like
at the top of the Premier League.
And just like Dame should have cut out that part about Gucci Man talking about Angela, I'm gonna cut that out. But anyway, let me wrap it up. Go to our website, www.manlistenshow.com. Listen to our past episodes. Go to our YouTube. Click that bell icon. I messed up. Shout out to Lab. Shout out to our sister C. We love y'all. And we'll have you next time.
Out.